They walked into his office and walked out and left him a dead man. Why did they have to kill the Catholic priest? The State versus Mabel Kavati and Felix Kwesa. This is Case Files.
Sikuhusika na kifo ya father.
I didn't.
It did shock me, particularly the way that it did happen.
This is the Consolata Catholic Training Institute in Nairobi. On the first floor of the eastern wing, there is a portrait of Father Giuseppe Bertaina. Those who knew him say he was a humble man, a down-to-earth man of the cloth who spent most of his time in this block attending to his duties as the financial administrator of the college. But that changed one morning the second week of January 2009 when a former student found his body lying on a sofa in his corner office. He had his hands tied behind his back and his mouth was stuffed with a polythene paper and sealed with a masking tape. Who wanted Father Bertaina dead? Who wanted the man who loved education and religion with such zeal dead? Father Bertaina had worked in Kenya for more than 40 years, ministering to Kenyans from all walks of life. Police investigators made several trips to the training college. The first person to be arrested in the case was this woman, Mabel Kavati. The student who found Father Bertaina's body had noticed the 45-year-old woman near the office minutes before finding the old man dead. A security guard, responding to the incident, detained her as a possible suspect and later handed her to the police. But could she have strangled Father Bertaina alone? Eyewitnesses said she had been at the college with two other men, but who were they? It was not until 2 weeks later that this man, a former student, Felix Kwesa, was arrested. A third suspect was arrested as he went about his hawking business in the city. Kavati and Kwesa were later to stand trial for violently robbing and killing Father Giuseppe Bertaina. While the third person was acquitted, Felix Kwesa and Mabel Kavati were found guilty and sentenced to death. It has been 2 years since the Catholic priest was killed, but those convicted of killing him say they are victims of a grave injustice. They insist they were not at the scene of the murder and claim they were tortured to confess to the killing.
Hata mimi nimeshindwa sana bila nimekuja condemn. Nimeshindwa kabisa. Nimeshindwa.
Felix Kwesa, who is now a state guest at Naivasha Maximum Security Prison, says he had left home for the college hours earlier on the day Father Bertaina died.
And the time also, this issue is happening. This issue is happening at 11. And I was there at 9 and I had left at 9. So I don't know if I was a cause that I came back.
As a former student, Felix says he was as much affected as the rest of the school community when the Catholic priest was killed.
Attended that Requiem Mass. I met with my friends there. I met with my former lecturers who were in the sorrow moods, everybody.
Mabel Kavati, on the other hand, claims she was a victim of circumstance. She insists she was searching for temporary work when she was arrested.
Nikaona watu wawili wanatoka tu kuenda, wakaenda na njia ingine hivi.
Case Files stress the last moments of the Italian national. On most days, Father Bertaina will report to work and attend to the college's financial matters before opening his door to anyone in need of help. The Consolata missionary spent most of his time listening to the needs of those he served. On the morning the priest was killed, both Felix Kwesa and Mabel Kavati were at the college. That is according to eyewitnesses. Felix says he has an innocent reason for being there.
If the late Bertaina could have walked up from the grave, himself could have confessed that I, Felix, did not see me in his room.
The student who found Father Bertaina's body testified in the murder trial about what he saw. He told the court he had gone to the administration block to make some payment, and as he stood outside the office block, he says, "As I waited, I saw 3 people, a woman and 2 men, pass through the library and walk towards the classrooms and into the administrative block. One of them engaged me in a discussion inquiring whether Father Bertaina usually had people in his office. A few minutes later, he saw the 2 men and the woman leaving the administration block. He says the men greeted him, so did the woman. When he entered Father Bertaina's office moments later, he found him dead." A security guard at the college says he responded to calls from college staff. Immediately the murder occurred and arrested one of the fleeing suspects. The court was later to be told Mabel was the woman who greeted the student as they left. Felix and another man were the 2 people whom the student saw leave the administration block. Despite the spirited denial, trial judge was convinced the evidence placed Mabel Cavati and Felix Kwesa at the scene of the murder. In her judgment, Justice Jesse Lesit said there was evidence that the office of the deceased had been ransacked and things were scattered everywhere. The checkbooks which belonged to the institution and therefore which the deceased kept by virtue of being the financial administrator was found at the guard's small office where Mabel Cavati had been held. Felix Kwesa insists he was tortured into confessing to the murder of a man he had interacted with when he was a student at the college.
They took me to a separate cell. It was very cold. I was told to strip naked. They started beating me.
He and Cavati both allege that is a case of being at the right place at the wrong time, the time when the murder was committed.
Sikuhusika na kifo ya Father. Sikuhusika hata kidogo. Sikuhusika kabisa.
I didn't. Openly before God, I didn't.
For now, Felix is a permanent guest at the Naivasha Maximum Prison. So is Mabel Cavati, who has only spent 2 years on death row. The premises where Father Bertaina called his second home is still running, but without its founder. When police officers raided the city campus, they arrested several people, among them university students. Onsarigo for Case Files.